I'm in the kitchen with Chef Kim Mueller from Izanami, brought to us from Sukasa Magazine. Thank you for joining us, Kim.
Nice to be here, thank you.
Okay, so Izanami is in Santa Fe, right?
Right, we're located on the grounds of 10,000 Waves,
All
which
right.
is a beautiful Japanese spa, and most people around here know about it.
Okay, so what are we making today?
We're making a very traditional dish called nasu dengaku, and nasu is eggplant, and we're
Okay.
working with Japanese eggplant.
Okay, so walk me through all the ingredients that you have here, because I am not familiar with this.
This is it's pretty simple dish, but
Okay.
we're going to start with this eggplant. I've already kind of gotten a couple ready. I've taken them in half.
Okay.
Put a few slits in them. Hopefully our oil will get hot enough. We're going to fry them for about a total of a minute and a half.
Okay.
Let them drain a little, and then the sauce ingredients, this is the finished product, are Shiro Miso, which is a white, sort of lighter miso.
Okay.
Miso is made basically from soybeans, sometimes other things.
Okay.
A little sugar, a little Mirin, which is sort of a sweetened rice wine that does have alcohol in it. This is a much better quality than what you find in most of the stores. And then a little sake.
Okay, and when you mix all this together, it turns into this?
It turns into this. We mix it up. We simmer it over low heat for about a half an hour until it gets thick and a nicely sort of brown, and it's kind of sweet and salty. And
all right.
And that will go on the finished eggplant broiled, and we'll have a beautiful little dish.
Well, we'll get started cooking that in just a little bit.
Perfect.
I am back in the kitchen with Kim Mueller from Izanami, brought to us from Sukasa Magazine. Okay, so this is the final product. This is what it is supposed to look like.
This is the finished product. Easy to do with the broiler, which we had here. We do it in a different piece of equipment in our kitchen, but you put it up on high. It takes about a minute to finish. Really start to finish, if you include the time for the sauce, it's about 45 minutes.
All right, then let's get learning. Okay, so what is the first step? Is this the first step?
First step is to take our Japanese eggplant, and this is what it looks like. You really can't substitute like the big globe Italian eggplant. Just doesn't work. You can get, Talin has this quite often. Sometimes they may have a Chinese eggplant, which is a little different color, purple, but anything kind of this shape is great.
Okay.
You're going to remove the top, which we're going to save for the next spot, and then very gently just put a few scores, like 3 in one direction.
Now, what does that do?
This helps when it fries for the oil to kind of sink in. It's not a super oily dish. This is rice bran oil, which is a very
to take
clean.
the oil in. So when you slice it like that,
and you don't want to go all the way down, you know, because what'll happen is once it cooks and then broils, it gets pretty fragile. But it's creamy and soft and delicious once it's done. So this is the first step. Then you heat your oil to about 360. If you have a pot like this, a heavy pot, it's safe to do it on the stovetop. If you don't have a little countertop fryer. So.
If you say so. All right, well, we're going to get that going.
I haven't burned it
and we're
down
going to
yet.
do more in just a little bit. But for now, we're going to get a look at your weather today here in Albuquerque. And another beautiful day here in Albuquerque. We are in the kitchen with Kim Mueller from Izanami, brought to us from Sukasa Magazine, and my friend Kaylin Pearson, who's been joining me. She's our wellness expert. Okay, so what have we done? What's happening right now? What are these noises?
We've taken 2 pieces of the eggplant, which we previously scored a little bit.
Okay.
And we're putting them in the fryer, and this is about 360 degrees.
Okay.
Rice bran oil, which you can find in smaller bottles, but a good clean canola oil or high temperature grapeseed.
Rice bran oil, is that, what's, as opposed to, is there something else?
It's just
a different kind of oil?
Well, I mean, there's a million. There's canola oil, olive oil, grapeseed oil. And what you're looking for when you fry is a high temperature, a low smoking point. Or high smoking point, rather. So anything that goes above 375 to 400 is considered a good high smoking point, which means you won't burn down your kitchen.
Now, do you choose the rice oil? Do you choose that brand for a reason?
It's very clean, and it's double the price of most oil that you'll find in most restaurants. But it's super clean. There's no additives to it. They add things to fryer oil like anti-foaming agents and chemicals. And
and we don't want that, right, Kaylin?
I mean, in our restaurant, we serve primarily organic produce, very clean proteins, organic dairy, the little that we use. And
sounds like Kaylin's kind of place.
We're real committed to good, clean and local when we are able to have it.
And so you guys are local also, if you can be.
We can be. Right now we're getting produce, some produce through the Farm to Restaurant program, which is a 5-year-old program in Santa Fe that kind of partners some of the farmers with restaurants.
So how long does it take for this?
This is about a minute and a half. And you are looking for a tiny bit of color, and when it comes out, it should be pretty soft.
Okay, great.
So that's this step.
Now,
And then
Kaylin,
the next,
tell me a little bit about eggplant, and you can jump on also. eggplant's good for you, right?
Eggplant's a whole food.
Okay, it's a whole
Comes
food.
from Mother Nature.
Kaylin's
That's
all
right.
about the whole food.
That's right.
And do you want to add on to that at all?
No, I mean, as I said before, you definitely want to use this style of eggplant versus a globe or,
Okay.
because those are very bitter. These you don't have to salt. They're not bitter, which you don't want to salt when you're frying because the residual water that seeps out will make your fryer very ugly and noisy.
Okay, now let's
So-
talk about the sauce.
The sauce is called den miso.
Den
and,
miso.
I wish I could give you all the Japanese descriptions
It is
for that.
beautiful, though.
But basically, we start with sake, and this is, you could get sake at, I'm sure, a few wine shops around town.
Okay.
Probably not grocery stores. This is Mirin, which
What is Mirin?
Mirin is a sweetened rice wine, basically. So it does have alcohol in it. Sugar, sometimes what's produced here has corn syrup in it. This one I buy basically is triple the cost of what you'll find in any grocery store. So
Okay.
it's very high quality. This is just granulated sugar.
All right.
And then this is Shiro Miso, which you might also find as a white or sweet miso.
Okay.
There's a ton of different kinds of miso they can be, and a lot of it is based on how long they're aged. This is a fairly young.
So miso,
Basically,
okay, so
it's
sugar
a
miso.
fermented soybean.
And is it sweet? Is that kind
This
of
will turn
what
into a
comes
sweet
out?
sauce. This is salty.
Okay.
So basically, we combine all these. If you want to
Yeah,
do
I
that,
would love to.
you're just going to put them all in the pot, and
The whole
you need
thing?
a little help getting it out.
Probably.
You can.
All right.
And
Okay, so
then,
that's the miso.
You're going to add the miso.
This is the sugar.
I haven't turned on this burner, but we can.
All right.
Um,
The sugar.
Does you smell that?
that's Mirin.
Mirin. Smells sweet. It smells kind of like wine.
Sake. And make sure you can put all of it in. Drink half if you want. But
That's what Kim
that's
does.
right. That's what we do to stay happy in our kitchen.
All right.
We have what we call sometimes sake 30 in the office, where we
So
try different sakes at 5:30. But
how do?
so then what you're going to do is just kind of mix this up.
Okay.
And what you're looking to do is have, because you can see the color it is now.
Yeah.
And this is the color it will be after about 45 minutes of low heat simmering.
Low heat.
Because there's a lot of
45
sugar in
minutes.
this.
Okay.
And sugar and high heat aren't a happy combination unless you're trying to make caramel sauce. So this
I'm
needs to
learning so
just
much.
simmer, because
Okay.
it'll stick and it'll burn your pan and it'll be really hard to clean.
Okay.
And so once you have the fried eggplant and the finished sauce,
Yes.
we're going to take it in a squirt bottle. If you don't have a squirt bottle, you can use a spoon.
Okay, is there a place that we
and,
can get squirt bottles?
You know,
'Cause
you
I
can
want
get
one.
squirt bottles. National Restaurant Supply, probably. They sell to the public over on, I think they're on Comanche.
Okay.
Target might have them.
I think Target does have it.
Does? Okay.
So you put a nice coating, and one of the things that's always hard to train your cooks to do is
Yeah.
get everything covered. You don't see any eggplant here.
Yeah.
It's like when you make a sandwich, you want to make sure everything
Like
goes
peanut butter
everywhere.
jelly. You gotta
So
be a
what
coast
we've
to
done
coast
is we
spreader.
put this broiler on high,
Oh, okay.
We've
So
got it
there
up
is
pretty
another
hot.
step.
and then this step will be in here a couple minutes. You want it to be bubbly and starting to caramelize a little, which means the sugar is starting to kind of, cook.
Okay.
And then
And then it comes out
Comes
with
out like this.
And then you add, are those
we put a little sesame seed. We cut them. It's easier, we cut them into smaller pieces because in our restaurant we set the tables with chopsticks.
Okay.
And
So what
so
does
it's
the
easier to pick
sesame
up.
seed
It's
add?
just a nice little garnish, and these are roasted sesame seeds, so it adds another little nutty flavor to it.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to taste
These are a little room
this.
temperature.
I don't
hot
have
ones.
chopsticks. Is it okay if I use
You
a
can
fork?
use a fork.
Okay. I'm terrible at using chopsticks anyway. It would have been impossible. Okay,
Hopefully
Kaylin.
we'll get this bubbling before the
Here we go.
time is up.
All right, well, if you want any information about Kim here or about this delicious recipe, just go to casa.com and click on the Style tab.
Divine.
Come visit us at Izanami and have a hot tub before and a nice
Whoa.
lunch.